How's it going, everyone? We gotta talk about your favorite publisher, my favorite publisher, the publisher that we just love to empty out our bank accounts buying their microtransactions. I'm of course talking about Ubisoft. No, but seriously, Assassin's Creed Shadows, as you guys are probably aware by now, has been officially delayed. We'll go over that. Not a significant delay, but given the fact that this game was already delayed once, given the fact that Ubisoft is in a bit of turmoil right now, and given the fact that Assassin's Creed Shadows, let's be real, has had a fair bit of controversy attached to it, I think it's interesting to talk about and go over the statement. On top of that, there's been some trouble with Ubisoft in general. Yves Guillemot is putting out a statement as well, and that statement, I think people are gonna assess it in a variety of different ways, and it seems like this is a pretty big disaster around this game. Now, it's Assassin's Creed at the end of the day. It's Assassin's Creed in feudal Japan, which I think so many people have wanted for so long. I think it's gonna do really well from a commercial standpoint, but what is really well in the context of releasing Assassin's Creed Shadows? Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft has a certain expectation for it, and just doing really well in a vacuum of any game, okay, that's one thing. Doing really well in the context of this is an Assassin's Creed game long desired, I don't know how well it's gonna do, but let's go over all of the statements. Alright, first of all, here is a message from Assassin's Creed franchise executive to producer Mark Alexis Cote on the delay. Dear players, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to our incredible fans and our dedicated teams for your unwavering support since our announcement in September to further refine and polish Assassin's Creed Shadows. Since November, we've been thrilled to share our progress through gameplay overviews, and the overwhelming excitement has truly inspired us. Each week has brought valuable feedback from our community. While we've already made remarkable strides, we believe a few additional weeks are needed to implement that feedback and ensure an even more ambitious and engaging day one experience. Accordingly, the new release date is March 20th, 2025. We remain committed to delivering a high-quality, immersive experience fostered by ongoing dialogue between our players and development teams. We know you're eager to learn more about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and we're excited to share more updates coming your way very soon. This additional time, again, is going to let them incorporate player feedback, so there's only so much you can do. That's the issue I had, not the issue, I should say, but the skepticism I had with the delay from the get-go. Look, there's a lot of controversy around the game. How much are you going to do in a 3-month window? How much are you going to do with an extra 5 weeks, 6 weeks? It's not a lot. The game is what it is. Can you polish it? Can you make some refinements? Absolutely. But a 4-month window, since it was originally scheduled for November, now it's coming out in March. How much can you really accomplish? The game is what the game is. There's some polishes, some bug fixes. That's great. I'm happy that you're taking your time to fix all that. But to expect, and if people expect this ground up rebuilding of the game or just completely changing a lot of things, that's just not gonna happen. I think they're doing what they can to revitalize some goodwill. I do think it was a good idea to announce that the game is coming out on Steam day one. I do think it's a good idea to forego the season pass and forego the fake early access, but ultimately, how much restoring of goodwill can it do? And do you need to restore goodwill? Again, I think this game's gonna do really well. The ultimate thing I worry about is after Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think Assassin's Creed Shadows is one of those games that really needs to be a home run success. And again, we'll probably get the press releases of, oh, it sold 2, 3, 4, 5 million copies, but in the context of a big budget Assassin's Creed game like this, also following a lot of Ubisoft disasters, like a Skull and Bones, like a Star Wars Outlaws, like X-Defiant getting shut down, you really need Assassin's Creed Shadows to be an absolute home run. The pressure is there more than ever for this game, and I kind of feel bad for the developers. Like, you have an unreal amount of pressure to make sure this game is at the highest level possible. Now, also, Yves Guillemot from Ubisoft noted, we also appointed leading advisors and are actively exploring various strategic and capitalistic options to unlock the full value potential of our assets. We are convinced that there are several potential paths to generate value from Ubisoft's assets and franchise. You know, we'll see how all of that turns out. And Yves Guillemot also said in a press release, we made good progress in the strategic and execution reviews initiated a few months ago, and we are confident that this will position Ubisoft for a stronger future. We have taken decisive steps to reshape the group in order to deliver best-in-class player experiences, enhance operational efficiency, and maximize value creation. We also recently appointed leading advisors and are actively exploring various strategic and capitalistic options to unlock the full value potential of our assets. We are convinced that there are several potential paths, as I mentioned. Additionally, we are all behind our team's efforts to create the most ambitious Assassin's Creed opus of the franchise and made the decision to provide the extra month of development to Shadows in order to better incorporate the player feedback gathered over the past 3 months that will enable us to fully deliver on the potential of the game and finish the year on a strong note. That is the fiscal year. Think about that for a second. This game is releasing on March 20th, so it is barely meeting that deadline of coming out in the end of the fiscal year. I have to think that when a game has been delayed a couple of times, when it's getting this level of pushback and then it's releasing right before the end of the fiscal year, there's gotta be a little of trouble in paradise, and that's gotta be putting it the most optimistic way possible. But Ubisoft is in a dire situation, and I do not think that is hyperbolic whatsoever. I do not know if Shadows is gonna be this huge disaster. What I think is, it's gonna get some press releases of, oh, it sold 3 million copies, 5 million copies, but this is a game that in the past, what was Assassin's Creed strength? It sells an absurd amount of copies, but on top of that, you monetize that game for years and years. And what is going to be the monetization of this game on top of that? Yeah, they forgoed on the Season Pass. I'm so curious about the in-game microtransactions and things of that nature that are baked into the game as well. And it's gonna be a lot to assess when it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it is going to be one of the biggest game releases of the year, not only because it's Assassin's Creed, it's set in feudal Japan, and it's got a lot of hype and buzz around it. Let's be honest, even amidst the controversy, this is gonna inherently be one of the bigger games of the year. But then you add in the context of all the turmoil around Ubisoft, of all the controversy around this game, of this being a real make-or-break moment for Ubisoft. And even if, like, I just can't imagine if this game is excellent, okay, that'll put them in the right trajectory, but the perception of Ubisoft is just so negative now, and it's very unfortunate. If you're around my age or even older than me and you grew up, or you were around during the, the glory years of Ubisoft, where they were one of the premier development studios and publishers, I should say, late 2000s. Remember when like Watch Dogs 1 was coming out on the basis that that was a Ubisoft game and a cool new IP. It had so much hype. For me, it was that 2008 to 2014 period or so, and then it just felt like, man, a lot of trouble in paradise. And not only that, if we want to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows, it seems like that there is abuse allegations running from a support studio. I'll leave a link in the description box below, and in a response to the allegations, Ubisoft issued the following statement to Eurogamer as well. We are deeply disturbed by the recent reports surrounding Brandonville Studios. We strongly condemn all forms of abuse, and our thoughts are with the affected employees. Now, this is not a Ubisoft studio. This is a partner studio that I believe was helping out with Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's a support studio in Indonesia, again named Brandonville, and it's reported that Brandonville Commissioner abused an employee through both physical and mental means while she worked at the company. That is Krista Sidney. Again, that's not Ubisoft directly, but it's associated with Ubisoft. It's a support studio, and you don't want to ever hear about stuff like that. But the games industry and the development industry, we've heard a lot of stories of abuse, and at the very least, you just hope that issue is ironed out as soon as possible. And the claims are worrisome, to put it very lightly, but hopefully that is rectified in the immediate future. But that is going to do it for me. Again, Assassin's Creed Shadows delayed until March 20th. Really, it's not just the fact of this 5-week delay. It's everything else around Assassin's Creed Shadows and everything else around Ubisoft that is worrisome for a juggernaut of a publishing studio. 2025 is going to be a very big year to keep an eye on. And the fact that this game is coming out right at the end of the fiscal year, so they desperately want to get it out within this fiscal year. That I find it to be very interesting. I don't think we're going to see any more delays, and I just question how much one more month in the oven is really going to do for it. And looks like Ubisoft is making some changes, and hopefully the abuse allegations are looked into and they get that remedied as soon as possible. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.